Anyhow, and then I also did this timeline, which I probably won't be able to pass around, but this was something interesting that I did for the exhibit, foreshadowing an assassination. And I thought this was an interesting tool for any of you who ever put together research. I thought that with the documents, I was able to show that his assassination was foreshadowed. And if any of you know literary terms, with the documents, I was able to prove that if people didn't know he was going to get murdered, they should have known. Because he repeatedly told people that they were getting threatened and harassed and beat up and all kinds of things. So it's a very interesting case, but I probably can't pass that around, but if any of you want to take a look at that, you're more than welcome. I did pose the question, when darkness falls on man, what's left behind? Because I do think that we leave spiritual residue of some sort in the collective memory of people. I'm going to have to obviously go very quickly through these because I have 5 minutes, but 1861 execution of Paula Angel, which I would say Robert is probably the expert on that as well. She was the first woman executed legally in New Mexico, so that's a very interesting case. Another very, very interesting thing to me was the first governor who died of a drug overdose that I'm aware of. I don't know if any of you knew that Governor Henry Conley died of an opium overdose. He had a medical degree, so I think he should have known that he was playing with fire as well, but he took a medical leave of absence in a certain period, and I kind of wonder if it was to go get drugs, because he died, if you look at the timing, again, using documents and creating timelines, he died at a certain period when it almost seems like he may have been purchasing drugs, and they say he was taking it to alleviate a sickness he had, but I mean, you really never know. He traveled on the stagecoach in 1861 and 1862. We do have this way book. It's a stage ledger from 1858 to 1862. This is a cool book to check out if any of you ever have a chance. He traveled for free, which I found interesting, between Santa Fe and Peralta. And this is in miscellaneous economic records. This is a little bit of video footage that I took of that, but the poppy plant, this is just a little bit of information about the overdose itself. There's the poppy. He has a notice of death that came out in the Santa Fe Weekly Gazette. So the Santa Fe Weekly Gazette, I thought that this was kind of an impersonal notice. Then we have the legislative address that came out, and he had left acting Governor W.F.M. Arney in charge when he took a medical leave of absence, and then Arney actually becomes acting governor when he passes away. This is a picture, a public domain image of an opium den in 1874, and I wanted to look for something around the time that he died. So this is from the east end of London, from the Illustrated London News. Again, exhibits where I tried to focus on words. This was hanged. This was William Wilson, order of execution from the governor's papers, and this is an 1875 order. This is an Undertaker book, and this is interesting because this has that this guy died of a gunshot wound and he was from East Las Vegas. But yesterday, didn't we learn that West Las Vegas was the rough side? So here's someone died of a gunshot wound in East Las Vegas, which is very interesting. This book is super cool. This is a poisoning case. How can I not include that? Now I have to read something real quick. How long do I got? How long do I got? This is a poisoning case. So this is interesting. This is County of Taos, 1903. R.R. Green of lawful age, being first duly sworn, of Red River, he delivered, because they scratched it out, a poison to wit, a bottle containing 1,000 tablets, and then a bunch of drug names I do not understand because I'm not a doctor. And it was, quote-unquote, a violent poison. So here we have a 1924 scholarly account of the Penitenta Brotherhood. This is in the Dorothy Woodward Memorial Penitenta Collection, which is another very, very cool collection. And my grandfather was a Penitenta, so this is why this is of interest to me. A fatal mining accident, where again I focused on the words accident and the death in the shaft. This was in Black Hawk Consolidated Mines in Silver City. This I'm not going to be able to talk very much about. I got 1 minute, but let her speak. I still found something evil in Chavez family correspondence. I don't know how many of you know about the Chavez family, but they had Chavez Ravine, where Dodger Stadium was built. And when I started looking into this collection and I found tax assessments from Los Angeles, I started looking into this family and realized that that property was taken by eminent domain. So if any of you have the chance to check that out, this is UCLA Library property. Yeah, these people were forcibly removed from their property. Luckily, I've never been to a Dodgers game, just the Red Sox. This picture made me cry. This is the Augustine family being forcibly removed from their property. And then here they are being bulldozed. So yeah, there's Chavez Ravine, so play ball. Anyhow, Vietnam War death notices. This is very sad. The governor's papers have these death notices. This is a private who the governor wrote to the parents to say sorry for the death of their son, Private First Class Johnny Albaca. Thank you for your service. And last but not least, Robert's famous switchblade. So no date, material culture, which archives do not normally collect. Coroner's inquest, we read by county records. Little video footage that I shot. Robert tried to connect this to a case at one point. I think maybe a couple of other people, and I don't know who, but I think I've heard through the grapevine other people maybe tried to connect this to a case. It's never been connected, though my boss has suggested at one point, Melissa, that maybe someday in all our spare time using DNA or new technologies, we can connect it to a family that may still be living. So the end, still just the beginning.